Learn the pivot compression golf swing. Join WDGLC.com today.
Hey there everybody, it's Wayne Defrancesco, and you're at WayneDefrancesco.com. If you haven't joined the website, hope you will. At least consider it. A lot of cool stuff going on here. We got Rory Mcilroy, who went to #1 in the world last week, and I wanted to go over a couple of things in his game that probably hadn't talked about before. Usually we're busy looking at his swing, and we'll look at it a little bit, but I wanted to go over a couple things that are, I think, misnomers about McIlroy. One of them is that he just likes to get up and hit the ball, and I don't know, the announcers say he's childlike and he just gets up and smashes it and he doesn't think about anything. And the other one is that he just launches the ball up in the air and doesn't know how to flight the ball, and thus everyone was skeptical that he might win in the wind. So I got him on this tee shot, and I wanted to go over his routine here just to show you that his routine is pretty similar to a lot of other really good players. Namely, two players that I've timed like this are Louis Oosthuizen and Charles Schwartzel. So let's take a look. So you notice he's going to take two little half-hearted practice swings, not full at all, it's not wasting much energy there, so half back, full follow-through. Now, what I like to do is count the first step, start at the first step forward from here where he's studying the line. He doesn't take his grip yet, and then see how long it takes him to pull the trigger. So let's count it off and check it out. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Alright, so two things you'll notice there. Obviously, I counted to 11. Now, if you go back to the videos I did on Oosthuizen and Schwartzel, I think you'll find that the number was 11, 12, and 13. So, pretty much exactly the same. These guys have a number of things they are doing to get ready to hit the shot. Darren Clarke was a little bit quicker than that. He would get it around 10 or under by 1 or 2. But, you know, McIlroy is right in there with Oosthuizen. And when these guys start playing good, and Schwartzel too, and when these guys start playing good, they get into that rhythm, and their routines begin to take on a rhythm of their own. And that's very helpful to hitting consistent shots during the round. Now, the other thing I wanted to show you is when you watch the swing here, as far as being able to flight the ball, watch the follow-through. So I think Johnny Miller mentioned that he just likes to get up and smash the ball. Watch this finish. Now, that's anything but just smashing the ball. Look how left and cut off that is.
Did a quick fix make your swing worse? Wayne Defrancesco will get your swing back on track at WDGLC.com.
So that really requires some thought, you know, to get up there and hit looks like a 3-wood, and hold that finish off like that and flight the ball down. So he hit a bunch of good shots in that last round, but I was looking at the stats, and the reason he won the tournament really had very little to do with, I mean, obviously he had to hit the ball great to get where he was, but he led the tournament in putts gained and bunker play and scrambling overall. So as you saw, you know, he got it up and down 3 times on the last 5 or 6 holes from fairly difficult places. So here we got a nice angle for his swing. Now, this is not as crossed as it was. Now he's been working on trying to get the club a little less across the line, and as full as this is, you could start to argue that it's really starting to get looking better at the top. Now his downswing move, I think it's getting better as well. It's very different if you go to, say, Tiger's swing. So it might be interesting here to take a little comparison and see the difference here. So if I can, here we go. Obviously this is a longer club, but let's take a look. So fairly large difference in the right arm. See how McIlroy gets his more behind him, a little deeper and more up, a little more Nicklaus-like there. And Tiger's is a little bit more in front of him. Leg movement fairly similar in the backswing. See the right knee fairly flexed. Left knee out. So if we take a let's take a little different look. If we take go back to that swing and get to where he was hitting the ball. Let's do that. Now let's take a different one here. A little better angle. Here we go. So big difference in the setup. Take a look at McIlroy's upper back, or lower back, I mean. Now, that kind of posture is much more prevalent in the old style guys like Hogan and Snead. Look at Tiger, much more bent over. Something you don't see much in the old guys. The head lowering quotient is about the same. I've always thought it odd that now the Tiger, the camera over here is moving around, so, but you know that, you know, Tiger's going down probably from about the same amount. I have never heard a TV announcer talk about Rory's lowering. At least they don't call it dipping. And every time he hits a bad shot, and he does, I mean, he hit this one to the left, you know, nobody mentions the fact that he's stuck because his head went down. So the McIlroy honeymoon is still on when it comes to his swing. Now, there's one thing I've talked about in the past about his swing, and it's this lower body position in the forward swing. If you look at Tiger's swing, you'll see the massive difference in the position of the upper right arm. Now you saw it at the top where it was a little different up there, more in front of him. McIlroy's a little more behind him, but huge difference in the downswing in the right arm position. Now, this is something I've kind of been talking about with Tiger's swing. If you look at his hands up there, I'll draw a line right over to the ball, and you're going to see how the hands are getting way closer to following that line toward the ball. Remember when he was working with Haney, the thing started to fall back behind him like this. Now you can see way different. And the good news is for Tiger is that the shaft now is coming in above the forearm, and he's able to get the right arm clear, get his body around enough to swing the left arm to the left and open the shoulders up a little bit more. But when it comes to opening up the shoulders, he's got nothing on McIlroy. I mean, look at this. Look at this shoulder angle through impact here. I mean, that's wild. So the way he deals with getting the right arm behind him, and I'm not saying it's a bad thing. Of course, the guy hits the ball great. He's going to take that right arm from his side right there and just rotate his upper body like crazy. And watch this thing come out. Just gotta love that. The way that arm and the way the club comes out there. So as far as technique goes, you know, is that the leg motion that I teach? Not really. It's not. You know, I'm trying to teach people to stay deep and go left. He's got his knees going toward the ball. But somehow, rather than getting underneath himself, he'll rotate like crazy and release that thing around to the left. I mean, that's just brilliant hand release there. With his arm pinned back into his side like that and not in front of him, it's like his whole body is releasing the arms. Now my preference would be more to have the club in front of the body, like where Tiger's right arm is, and more like what Hogan would do. But hey, that's just me. What do I know? But it is interesting to note that as well as McIlroy's been playing, he is now on a roll with his putting and his short game play. So, but one thing is for sure, Tiger is beginning to find his mojo and getting his swing in gear. And to tell you the truth, I think this is a far better technique-wise than what he was doing between, say, 2005 and 2009. Now, does that mean he's going to win, 5 or 6 majors like he did with Hank? I'm not sure about that, but if he swings like this and his putter begins to heat up a little bit, I think we're going to see some amazing matches coming up this year. I mean, head-to-head with Tiger and Rory. So, a lot of fun to come. But the reason I did this originally was just to show you that I think McIlroy is given short shrift when it comes to his thought process, his ability to hit shots and flight the ball. And I also think that Tiger swing's really coming around, and if anything, we should really be. You never hear Sean Foley's name on any of these telecasts. I mean, they bashed the hell out of him when Tiger wasn't playing good, but now you don't hear him talking about him when he is playing good. So let's give that guy some credit where credit's due. All right, so it might be a little bit of a rambling video, but everybody loves these two guys, so I'm sure we'll be looking at them again soon.